All right, good morning traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through live order flow analysis, understanding the current markets. Oh, hold on just a moment. Here we go. There you go. Discord should do the trick for you. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll be going through the live market analysis here. We'll look for opportunities and maybe take some positions. However, this is about education and understanding order flow. If we get involved in any sort of trades, it's not a trade recommendation whatsoever. It's about understanding how to manage your trades. It's a big difference. It's great to understand where you have an edge, what other players are covering. And understand their activity, their actions. That's what we can learn from in order flow. Once we see that though, and we see that edge, and we get involved in something, then it's really the same process, but with trade management. So how do I get the most out of my trade by understanding the participants' behavior and what happens in that market? But it is a very different mentality once you're involved in the trade. We all know about that, anyway, that's the two distinctions here that I just wanted to mention. Let's go through the disclosures. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. A few different things to cover. So this whole week, we have the Pro Trader webinar series. And it's only in Discord. This is the first time we've done this. We've got some really great traders, new traders that we have never covered before, and that's what makes this webinar event much more unique. Thor from Bear Bulls Trader, Brandon Trades. We have Mousy Trades. We have Options Millionaire going through a special session, we also have there's also a meeting with Maxime and I later this afternoon to go over some of he's a developer. We have these new trading tools that we're going to cover for the Pro Trader webinar in the afternoon here today at 2:30. So if you're interested, you'll need to subscribe or be a member in our Discord channel. There's a link that you may have gotten an email from us over the weekend. But once you come into the Bookmap Discord, then you can, we'll scroll down here a little bit, scroll up, and under the events here, this is where we're sending you, is to the event right here. Okay, and this is where you can subscribe or register for it. So come in and register, and you can attend it in our Discord channel. All right. Now, that said, if you want to attend other rooms or be a member on our Discord, and have access to be able to chat, to be able to download things, etc., you will need to verify your email subscription. So please do so. You can use the QR code here to verify now and go through the process. All right, so that's what I just wanted to cover today. There's some other housekeeping stuff we'll go over maybe tomorrow as well. Lots of new things going on, so lots of things to mention and show you guys. In fact, one of them being the new trade journal here that we have, that we can now share the journal with other traders. So for example, I can just come up here and click on the share button, and I need to select a journal, and then I can share it directly with you. This is a great tool. They're going to be using this also for the Bookmap Academy. You might have heard about the Bookmap Academy, where we coach other traders. Yeah, looking forward to using this new trading journal tool within Bookmap. All right, Okay, so let's jump in. Let's take a look at what's happening in the market here, and we're going to look at the S&P E-mini. In fact, this product right now that I'm looking at, it's a derivative. It's the ES here, but look, it says at Trader Map Lite here, or TM Lite. It's a derivative from the chart here, and what do I mean by derivative in here? Well, what it is just showing you this. See this bot in here, this algo on the offer, and then on the bid in here. Well, we filtered it out, as you guys know, here. So maybe you like this version of the chart, and you know, you can look at these other areas of liquidity that might be more meaningful to you. If we want to take any positions at this time, though, we will need to take it from the original image here. Image instrument here. All right. So let's see. What do we see in the order flow right now? Well, it's really been back and forth, as you guys can see, yeah, not a whole lot going on in here. Let's take a look at the bigger picture, though, and then we'll come back in and drill in to what's happening within the order flow. The bigger picture is incredibly important in order flow, and let's just drill down into the basics here. What is Bookmap showing? We've got, you know, all sorts of add-ons and indicators and columns and ways of visualizing market data. However, the important thing that Bookmap is showing here, the first thing on the Bookmap chart that you're really seeing here is very simple. It is market structure. Highs, lows, swings, you know, trends, and consolidations, breakouts, breakdowns, etc. This is the market structure, and it is the order flow that creates that market structure, and that's the key, okay? Because all of it is order flow. If we even jump over here and look at our daily chart here and the candlestick chart, on the left, or our hourly or 15-minute here on the right, again, we're looking at, you know, open, high, low, and close of a candle, and we're looking at multiple candles to understand that they create a market structure. Okay, so for example, look at this kind of little triangle in here. It broke out from it, and then it came back down and tested where it broke from, and then it gapped down the following session. Okay? And right now, you can see that we're just kind of today, or maybe this was on Friday, had filled that gap and then sold off. So, you know, now we're coming back up above that gap. So what does this mean in terms of the participants in this market structure? Well, they're showing that if we're coming back up above the gap right now, well, we've got a pretty strong market. Okay, that's the assumption here. We're trending up on the smaller time frame here. We just came to all-time highs, as you can see over here on the daily, and then sold off on Friday, but we're back up again. Okay, and this is bullish. Okay, so now we want to see, though, what the order flow looks like at this very moment here. Okay, it's 10:15 East Coast time. The market's been open for 45 minutes. This is another thing that we've been integrating within the order flow, is understanding the participants in the auction process at specific times of day. Okay, so is this going to accept or reject above this little level here? Okay, it looks like it's pretty strong. So let's jump over and look at Bookmap and understand what's going on. Okay, so we had some data this morning. We had the PMI. You can see right here at 9:45, and a little volatility back and forth in here. And then let's take a look at what's happening here now. Okay, so we can see liquidity up here around this 75, 76 level. It transacted, and the market kind of went sideways a little bit. Okay, so now what about after that? What happened then? Okay, well, you can see this is a nice cluster of buying, but it is into high liquidity. Okay, here's a swing in the overnight or extended hours, and it went just above it and peaked and then came right back down. Okay, and it just did that again. Okay, whereas previously we're looking for this to possibly continue. We're looking for strength. And you can see that even in the order flow in the transactions in here, that some strength here. Look at the big green dots. These are market buy orders, taking the market back up to the swing high of the day here so far. But look at the volume up in here on the buy side. See how it tapers off after trading through this, and then you can see it came up again up into this area here. Not bad on the buy side. Sellers take it right back down, and then here again, buy side up to here, but they're tapering off on the volume. Okay, so what that starts to give us insight to is that, yeah, we found some buyers up here, but they're really not interested in the high. So we see the sellers now take it right back down to the swing low recently here at around 10 minutes after 10 o'clock. And then we're also down to a VWAP in here as well. In fact, let me take the VWAP off. I don't want to be distracted by that and get involved into too many things here at the moment. So where is my VWAP here? Just a second. There it is. Get rid of this one. We can look at the, maybe we can keep this one, but let's see the anchor points here. Every day at 9:30. Okay, yeah, that's our regular hour session VWAP here. Okay, but I'm going to hide it for now. We can maybe take a look at it later. All right, so let me jump back here before I start to get into more of the order flow here. We just broke the swing, and we broke it on some pretty high volume here on the sell side. Okay, so let's see if we can get, we're already getting a retest back up here. Okay, but are we going to kind of see maybe exhaustion again on the buy side and sellers start to roll back in and then come back down to the swing here, or the liquidity down here at 65? Okay, a couple different scenarios we'll look at here. Let me jump over though and make sure that we're good over here on YouTube. Looks like it. And let's see, how are we doing over in Discord? Morning, everybody. All right, yeah, thanks, Dan. Okay, yeah, I think we're all good here. Yep. All right. So, yeah, not really seeing too much right now in the order flow, going through a few different scenarios, but we really don't see a whole lot happening here at the moment. And in fact, you can see your profile in here. Let me add another column in here. I haven't added this for quite a while. I don't know why. The chart range volume profile, which I like a lot. To play the chart range off of the session range. Any questions? Anyone new in here that has any questions or any market that you want to take a look at? Here comes some buyers, a little barrage of buying. Let's see if maybe the buyers can reach up to the 76 level here, but we'll see. It's really just at the moment, like I said, guys, we're kind of looking for, maybe we were looking for some bullish activity to try to come back up above here, but you can see that how this failed here, right? And ultimately this candle came back into the range and closed in the range here. But here come the buyers again. Right, so let's see if we can get up to this 76 level, and then maybe even the swing 78, and then maybe we can get up into some of these other levels up here. Right now we're seeing, at least on the candlestick chart, we're starting to see some buyers. Okay, so we can look for that here as well. Okay, and we're getting them. Okay, getting a few in here now. There we go. There's 76. Okay, so we'll look for the buyers to continue. Next stop up here at the swing at 78.5. Looks pretty good. Staying with the buy side here. Looking for it to come back up into 78.5. Okay, come up there and we still see buy side. I would actually look for a bit of a pullback, maybe right back to where we just kind of broke from here, somewhere around 75, 76. And then maybe we'll see the move back up into, we're already starting to see it here, back up into maybe 85 up here as our next swing. Not a whole lot of liquidity up there at the moment. Okay, so we went above the swing here, and now we're looking for a pullback here. Okay, so yeah, bit of a pullback to probably about the 76 again. Maybe we can go lower. GC, yeah, I've actually got gold up, so we can take a look at that as well. All right, guys, I'm still going buy side, still looking for this to go higher due to what we just mentioned. Okay, this is our next barrage of buying in this. We saw it start to pop in right here, actually. And then we thought, well, 76, and then maybe they can start to swing higher. And we are getting that now, and we're getting that follow through on the buy side. Okay, our pullback was pretty muted here. I thought we'd get maybe a little bit more out of it, but we did not. All right, we can swing over to gold and take a quick look here. This is pulling back right now. Okay, yeah, gold's been doing just great this morning. So really high liquidity in here. Wow, icebergs all over the place. Actually, let me take the icebergs on chart off. We'll still look at it in the sub chart though. Stops and icebergs. All right, well, gold has hit into 55 liquidity, 57, and 57 and 75 or so. And that's been it so far. So a lot of high liquidity on the offer that did get filled in here. And now we're kind of going sideways, as you can see. Okay, so this is classic, something to look for when using Bookmap is understanding the relationship of the aggressors and the liquidity. And what do I mean by the aggressors is the market buy and sell orders. So these green dots are market buy orders that lift the offer. They transact on the best offer. They take liquidity. If they take enough liquidity, they'll go to the next price level and the next and the next and the next. That's how you get price to move. Then we have this context, beautiful context, though, of understanding the other side of the trade here. We've got high liquidity on the offer in these areas, and they're getting filled. Okay, now you can see that market has kind of slowed down a little. Is Iceberg Tracker available for Digital Plus? No. John, Digital Plus is only for digital currencies. Okay, so your Bitcoins and up to 20 different currencies, I believe. You cannot get Bookmap in the Indian market. Okay, you can trade the US markets, but it is not available. All right, even gold looks like it's getting ready here to pounce up into maybe 60 here. We'll see. Like, it's looking good so far, though. All right. So anyway, That's what kind of slowed the market down. There's still some interest still on the bid down in here around 54, 54.10. And we're back up. And now look again, like on the way back up, this is the swing, and there is some liquidity here. But we want to look at the context of the aggressors as well, not just the liquidity here, and if it transacts, which is immensely important. That's where the supply is, and then the demand is hitting that supply, and we want to see if it's absorbed or if the aggressors trade through it. And right now we're not getting too much insight because it's pretty low volume here on the buy side. Now it's better. Okay, all right, so gold, we should see a breakout now, probably up to about here, 59 and 30 or 40, maybe to 60. Okay, the bid is starting to throw a little bit more here. Now, it's not a trade recommendation, okay, but we're looking for these buyers to lift this up and to hit these areas of liquidity right now. Okay, this move, here's the distinction. Okay, we don't see a whole lot of buying. We see some down here, but we want to see it up here now. Well, we got it now here. Okay, so we are looking for buyers to take it higher, okay, to explore higher areas here. Okay, look at the bid here in the order book as well. This is a good example. That's why I'm sticking with this in gold here. Okay, it's a good example because look at the bid underneath here. Okay, see how there's it's this lighter blue. Well, that just means it's more liquidity. It's not as high as the yellow, orange, or red. However, it's showing that there's willing buyers at a higher level here on the bid. Okay, and then we're looking for the market buy orders to lift the market higher and take the liquidity off the offer and trade into higher liquidity and meet the supply up in these areas here. As simple as that. All right. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Stephen. I love all the coffees and the teas and like milk. Oh yeah, this is great. All right, so our gold is still working out well. Now we can also talk about that. We understood the order flow here. It was a pretty good example we mentioned. It's traded up now to this 59 level. That was our first stop. There's higher liquidity up here, a little bit higher at 60. But this is what we were looking for here as the first stop. Now that's been achieved. Now we might get a pullback now. Because this is why this liquidity transacted. And then look at this here, interesting. Look at higher liquidity coming in at a lower level here on the offer, and it transacted here as well. And now buyers are struggling to go higher at the moment. All right, so we're looking for a pullback right now after our first target was achieved up here. All right, this is how you can start to use the order flow for trade management. And now it depends on your time frame as well. Are you in this for the day? Are you looking for higher highs? Or are you just trading on a small time frame like what we're looking at the moment? Okay, let's see if is there more demand here on the bid. Is there still showing on the bid? They're pulling on the offer, and we're finding a few buyers. All right, should be able to trade to 60. Yep. So we're still trending up here. Made a higher high on some buy volume. All right, so gold is looking good. I imagine S&P is also looking good. Let's take a look over here. Okay, so the S&P did reach our 85 level up here, right? That's what we're looking for on the higher time frame up here. Yep, so it looks pretty good. Yep, here, right? Remember, we're looking at on the 15-minute chart here. This was our third stop up here. Was the into these wicks up in here. All right, not bad. 10:30 East Coast time here. So I mean, it's still bullish looking at these charts, but I'm imagining you know, we're probably going to see. I mean, we can see the wick already here, and it traded up into these areas here. Let's look at the liquidity and start to understand. Now, this high liquidity here traded at 76. What about other areas in here? Some here around 80, and then looks like some here also around this 83 area here. Did not trade up into the 85 yet. It was one tick away, as you guys can see, but or maybe 2 ticks away. I don't think I got a transaction here. Yeah, so a couple ticks away. The best offer went here. No transaction though. And then this was the 85 level. All right, and then now we can see the pullback here. All right, yeah, Caesar, you got smoking in there too. All right. No alcoholic drinks though. That's good. It's just too early for that. Um, all right. So let's see here. You know, I wanted to kind of take a step back. You know, we've been in these webinars. Yes, always five somewhere. Yep. In these webinars, we've been covering many times the same elements in just different ways. And something that might resonate, and we're just going to look at things a little differently, and I'm gonna phrase them a little differently, I think, today, this time, and just look at simple supply and demand, or support and resistance. Okay, it's really support and resistance. It's kind of a derivative of supply and demand. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but supply and demand is much more important in my book. Understanding supply and demand is really what it's about. Okay? Because the support and resistance, like if we look at a candlestick chart, or if we just take the heat map off here, and we put in some support and resistance in here, you know, we'd put in maybe right here. It's like, well, it was a swing, you know, let's put in some resistance, and you know, it's a swing down here, or you know, in some of these areas here, or you know, or a trend line or something, right? Yeah, you know, that's good, but what is at these levels is more important. That will give us much deeper insight. That's why we understand what's happening in the heat map. And this is a really very simple and effective way to use Bookmap. Okay, high liquidity, it transacted. This was a previous swing. There's sellers up here with supply, not enough buyers to trade above that area, and we kind of go back, and then some back and forth in here. We ultimately break out, but you can see we went back down lower to find demand, and we found some here. Okay, right in here. Now maybe I'll jump over to the Trader Map Lite version. We'll see this clearer in here, because here we can see this noise from this algo bot in. Okay, the only reason I have it open is I thought maybe we'd jump into a few positions or something in demo paper trading mode. Right. All right. Let's see here. What do we see in Trader Map Lite? Yeah, I mean, this is we can see have a little bit more clarity and understanding of the supply and the demand. The demand down here, sellers trade into it. The supply up here, and the buyers trade into it. Okay, this is where we left off right here. So 10:15, this supply in here, it transacted, and that's where it bounced. Okay, so this is what's happening here. We're understanding this, and this, Rob, this is actually something that we were covering. I think on Friday, but also other times. Just keep a simple filter, and just like here's some examples right here, right now, to look at. Okay, many actually. Okay, and then we're going to draw conclusions from that. Right, so here you can see we are trading into high liquidity. We sell off a little bit, trade up to high liquidity, more buyers coming in. I do not see a whole lot of sellers in here. Trade up to high liquidity and sell off. Trade back up. We cannot trade into this high liquidity up here. We sell off into high liquidity down here on the bid, and then sellers are not able to take it much further. They're not able to reach down to this 64 or 65 level down here. Okay, so we find our buyers, come back in and trade up to high liquidity here. Okay, so for example, now we can see trade into high liquidity, and these kind of define some of the swings in here. All right, so this is what we can, this is how we can start to piece together a trading plan or a trading setup, and start to, and this is all about the Bookmap Academy. In fact, this is the process that we go through. Start to understand and mark up your chart and say high liquidity, buyers transact into high liquidity. Okay, not too many sellers, well, buyers come back in and rotate again. Okay, trade up into high liquidity. Now what do we see? A bit more selling down here. Just these two ideas. They're trading into that liquidity. We're not finding the buyers now. We're finding sellers into this liquidity. We pull back. Finding sellers into this liquidity. Pull back. Okay, it's getting interesting. So then let's see if we can we get a pullback here to about 76. And then let's see if we see some more sellers rotate back in and try to trade back down to this liquidity, maybe at 72 and a half here, or maybe this 70 level here. Okay, so well, you can see we're starting to find a few buyers, okay? And it looks like they're going to try to trade up here to 80. Okay? I thought we'd probably roll over in here, trade to about here, not find buyers, and then roll over and then trade back down, because we're finding more sellers now. In this time frame, we're finding more sellers now. Okay, well, high liquidity is up here, 80 on the offer, or down here at the moment. A little bit here actually up higher, 76 just coming in now, but you know, around the 72 level here basically. And let's combine that. Okay, so now we're starting to put pieces together, and we're going to start to look for moves start to unfold here. So now just traded into this liquidity here. It's not a whole lot, right? Now are we finding more sellers in here than buyers? Yeah, so far. Okay, well, in sellers, we're looking for 73 down here or 72 to transact. Okay, and then that's our outlook based on very simple back testing in here. Okay, and then now we're starting to see our move unfold. Okay, down to 72. Okay. So now, what do we expect down here? Every time we trade into high liquidity, get a little bit of a pullback. Okay, so I'm looking for that little pullback, maybe to back up to about 75 here. And then we'll see if we get more sellers roll back in, and then we're looking for these lower levels here, 71 and 70. Okay, that's all we got on our pullback here. We didn't come to 75, we came to just here, 74. Now it's rolled back down to these bigger areas of liquidity down below here. Okay, so is this making sense to you guys? Any questions on this? This is a it's a very simplistic way to look at it, but we're really understanding supply and demand. Thanks, Data Reader. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to make things too complex, right? We want to understand now, this is the condition that we see today for the market. And maybe there's other days where we'll see high liquidity, like in a trending market, high liquidity in these areas, and it trades maybe into it and through it. And we don't get this little pullback. Or, you know, maybe they're pulling that liquidity on the way down. They're not staying in the book and transacting. So anyway, we're starting to, again, like, this is how you can start to understand these markets and the market and the participants in that market for this time of day, or this, not just this time of day, not just this session, but this environment, I would say. Okay, because the environment shifts and changes. All right, guys. Well, over on Discord, I'm sorry, on YouTube, just wanted to let you know we are having our Pro Trader webinar all this week in Discord. You'll need to come over to our Discord channel for that. It's only in Discord exclusively, and lots of new traders all week long. Okay, and then this afternoon, we're actually going to meet with one of our developers going through a lot of new trading tools within Bookmap at 2:30. Okay, all of them are at 2:30 East Coast time. Okay, so anyway, keep that in mind, and let me give you the link if you're interested in registering. Just a second. I will get it for Dan, what happened to all the images over here on a lot of the images in the events here are missing. It's kind of funny. Anyway, this is it, guys, right here. You'll see it. I'll share it with you now and copy the link for all of the events. Yeah, come on over and you'll register here and partake in it. Okay, so here's the Bookmap Pro Trader webinars this week in Discord. There you go. All right. All right, guys. Well, yet again, look, you know, now this is hindsight, of course. We'll take some positions though to prove it's not. You know, it's not just hindsight. This is just how the markets work. Okay, so here we are now coming back up to high liquidity here at 80. Okay, now this one I'm a little. I still think we're looking for 80 to transact, and then we're looking for a pullback. Okay, we're going to look for that. This one's a little bit different in essence, though. Like maybe it'll kind of behave like this one over here, where it traded into it and a little bit through it. It pulled back, but then not very much, and then we broke out again here. Now, why am I looking for that? Well, because look at the buy volume here, and we already noted that the buy volume here as well, like multiple times, keep coming up, and we're up here again. So now I'm looking for, in this case, not only for this to transact, I'm looking for it to trade through it here at 80. Okay, maybe up into these levels up here, and then maybe we get a pullback. Everyone over on Discord, I know you guys, many of you are in the Bookmap Academy, and this is maybe kind of elementary stuff. It's food for thought, though. Just trying to keep things really, really simple. And some of these, maybe it's the process, maybe it's the method, maybe it's the liquidity, or looking at it in a different way that you can integrate within the way that you trade. Okay, because one thing I am sure of, regardless of what kind of style that you trade, this is what makes the markets move. It is all about the orders and the order flow on all time frames. I'm convinced of that. It has to be. It's the only way that you can participate in the market is with your orders. So understanding the order flow is going to give you that help or insight to how people are behaving, and then that's where, once we start to understand their actions, we can look for edges. Okay, so now we should trade into this 80. There it is. There's 80. Okay, now I'm thinking there's going to be more demand. There is. It's traded through it. Okay, up into higher levels of liquidity here. And this is what we're looking for in this scenario here. So we're not looking for a pullback immediately. Okay, this one's a little different because we see still there's more demand compared to supply. Okay, so now we need to see where maybe we're looking for something else, not just trading into the high liquidity and transacting. Now we're looking for maybe exhaustion on the buy side, lack of buyers. Okay, because the buyers already are here. They traded. So now we're looking for a lack of buyers, and we're looking for maybe pulling back into some of these areas. This is a perfect area to pull back into, is this 80 level here. It's already done it. And maybe we can even pull back a little further, maybe even back down to 77 down here, 77 and a quarter. Okay, really, really simple ideas. They're profound. And it's just what makes up the market. I know, Stephen, we'd talked about this, like first principles in the marketplace. Okay, using that, well, I mean, it goes back to Aristotle, and understanding what makes up a certain argument. What are the principles behind it? When you boil it all down, what is the essence, the core of something? And those are the first principles. What we are saying is that the first principles in the market is the order flow. Okay? All this other stuff, VWAP, who cares? CVD, who cares? It doesn't matter unless there is order flow that supports it. Here we're in this Trader Map Lite version. We're looking at a cumulative volume delta. Okay, down in the subchart here. Okay, well, it's a derivative of the volume up here. Okay, the aggressors only, and we can understand, for example, a very, very simple concept in cumulative volume delta of divergence. Like here, look at this area here, okay, at the 78 level. Look at cumulative volume delta down here, and here. Oh, hold on. No, this is it. This is what to look at. Here's your divergence up here. Okay, here's an equal high and price right here from this little swing right here, and then right what it just created here. Okay, but look at cumulative volume delta. Cumulative volume delta is a derivative of it. It's not showing you price levels. It's showing you just buy minus sell aggressor volume. That's it. Okay, so there's divergence here. This is showing that there is clearly more sellers in here than there are buyers. Okay, because this is going down, but why? How is price not going down? Okay, there's more sellers in here, moving price lower. Okay, it's because there's the liquidity on the other side. It is not in the transaction. That's the divergence part, or the derivative part. This right here, you can see, look at cumulative volume delta, like here, dumping. Okay, so a little move, to the downside there. Price didn't move at all. Okay, well, why is that? Because someone is on the bid here that's not in that calculation. Okay, so anyway, if you're looking for trading divergence, then this would have been a good example, and you would have traded it down. Okay, now, it's not as simple as that, and this is why, like, I would be very careful. We've always said this, to be very, very careful with your indicators. Understand what you're looking for in your indicators. Understand the math also behind your indicators. It is really, really important. Look at the buying that came in and made a higher high here. But now we're seeing, look at the divergence in here. It's still divergent. There's still more sellers in here, in this little zone right in here, okay, than there are buyers. There's more sellers than buyers. Okay, that's clear. Okay, so now, if that is the case, and you like trading cumulative volume delta, okay, so what are we looking for then? What would be a good thing to add in here, you think? That would be helpful for us. Get rid of this rectangle. It'd be really good to see, for example, let's see if anyone comes up with an answer here. Yeah, that's heartwarming, Stephen. I'm really glad you took to that first principles idea. Me too. I mean, like, I'm convinced of it. Like, if we look at the the daily chart, it's the same thing. It's just you're only seeing it in candlesticks. But there has to be more demand in here for this to move higher like this. More aggressive buyers. Okay, and then less supply on the offer, is trading into and through supply on the offer. Okay, so now here, now this is a good question. This would be a sell then, cumulative volume delta wise, right? You would be selling up here. This is high. This is what I was looking for as an answer. If we are divergent here, there's more sellers than there are buyers. Okay, even here, there's still more sellers than there are buyers, even with this nice cluster of buying. Okay, so now what you're looking for is, or that maybe is helpful, is to combine this liquidity in here, transacting, or at least we see exhaustion on the buy side, and then we look for the sellers to come in. Okay, so now we have something, we have a little bit of a filter with our indicator. We just understand the buying and selling within this range in here. But when we have this here, now we can look for the sellers to try to come in here. And this one worked out pretty well. Okay, down to the bottom of the range. Right now, are you still sell side? Maybe. I would definitely, the way I would manage it is I would take some off. I would be trading on a smaller time frame, and I would take some off at the bottom of the range here. Okay, however, maybe we start to trend now. There's more sellers in here than there are buyers, and we just traded up into and near high liquidity. Okay, so maybe then we're looking for pullbacks into this area in here and more sellers to come in here. If we are, we're looking for big red dots here to take it back down to this level of liquidity here at 76.5, or maybe down to 73.5. Okay, so a few things to consider. Understanding order flow. These are really simple ideas. And we started off by looking at these areas of liquidity and starting to understand them within the price action. And then we started to understand the aggressor up into this area, up in here with cumulative volume delta. So, now we can even look for, maybe we trade back down to here, 70. Maybe this is the bigger move. Again, these are not trade recommendations. These are just some concepts and ideas, understanding order flow and looking for, looking for an edge and then trading that edge, looking for how to manage that edge. All right, and now back up into here. If you didn't take some off at the bottom of the range or into this high liquidity in here, then I would be stopped out at break even on this. And it's still divergent, but I've been caught up in divergence many times, and the buyers just come in, and divergence doesn't matter. It's just what matters is there more demand? Is there more aggressors coming in at this point? And if there are, they will trade into and through some of this high liquidity. Okay, so this idea, the concept was here, but now it is kind of thrown for a loop in here. So this is why you have to be really careful with your trade management and indicators, right? Because it doesn't matter if it's divergent or not, but you're just getting insight in here. What is TraderMap Lite, Ken? Yeah, so TraderMap Lite is a the heat map filter. So we've had a lot of problems lately due to for a couple months now. See this activity here on the offer, in the heat map, and then on the bid in here. So that's an algo. It's a bot. In fact, we can zoom in and look, right at a lot of it in here. It's only 2 orders now. It was 3 orders. It always comes in, so we're pretty sure it's one particular player. And you can see they have the same amount of size in here with that little white line that shows that's our large lot tracker. This is part of the Global Plus version of Bookmap. And you can see it up here too. There's 1 up here, but then there was 2. Now they shut off. See how they shut off, right? And now we don't see their activity. Now they'll come back in. Yeah, so now see how he's back in now. All right, so this algo, the problem here, Ken, is that this blows out the heat map. It's very much like a photograph. And you've got the light source. It's really like this. You've got the light source of your environment in your photograph all set up. It's perfect. And then all of a sudden someone comes in with a big light bulb or something, and or the sun comes out from a cloud or something, and it just blows out your setting. Okay, that's what's happening in the heat map here with high liquidity. There are 2 algos in here. You are right, Caesar. There's one in here in the inside market, and there's the one on the outside market. You're right. I'm sorry, I was too zoomed in there. This, you can see there's 3 up here. Yep, precisely. There's 3 down here, and they're a little more spread out too. Ooh, and I have an order in here. Let me cancel that. All right, guys. Well, let's take a look at this idea again. Yeah. So that's the add-on. The Trader Map Lite is free. It's a derivative, or it's a lighter version of Trader Map Pro, and Trader Map Pro is part of the MBO bundle. And I'm missing it here. I wanted to cover the divergence and that divergence idea and study in here. We traded back up to here on high volume, okay? And you still see a diversion in here. What does that mean? It just means that there's still, this area in here has more sellers than these big green dots in here with buyers. All right, so this swing to here, same price level, but not the same amount of buyers or sellers. We trade up into this high liquidity here. Now, like I said, I'm very careful about this. We're in an uptrend, we know that. And we have high liquidity here, and that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for over here. High liquidity, divergent, and then in here we're looking for it to start to trend. We didn't get the trend. It traded down into the high liquidity down here, and it reversed back up to trade to the high liquidity over here on the offer. And then now we still had divergence though. And I would not be touching this until I saw maybe in here the sellers come in below that buying in here. It was just too many times I've gotten caught up in that idea, and the order flow is not supporting it. Right? I just don't know, and I've been blown out many times. I get on the wrong side and get blown out up into 85, 87, something like that. So I wait until the sellers tell me they're ready to take it back down to the swing or areas of lower liquidity down in these areas here. All right, so then this is now starting to pan out to this original idea here. We talked about maybe getting down to 70. So 70 looks pretty good now. Okay, there's more sellers coming in now. Yes, you are right. Alois, thank you. The TraderMap Pro version is now available as a standalone add-on. You're fantastic, Alois. And it's $49 a month. Okay, so it's separated out of the MBO bundle. Okay, we'll have more on that soon. All right, so anyway, let's zoom in here and let's see, do we still see an example in here to look for maybe this 70 level to trade? I don't know. I'm starting to find some buyers. Okay. We have not traded into 72 here, so I'd still look for the sellers to hit it into 72, maybe 70. There's still more selling pressure. Anyway, like to be honest, to keep things simpler, consider not using the cumulative volume delta or any indicators at all. Instead, consider understanding the order flow at these levels, like how we started off. Okay, it would just be simpler. Just starting to mark up your charts, understand the relationship of the price structure, okay, at the extremes here, and the high liquidity. And is it transacting? How does the market react after it transacts? And all these other things are confluences to add into the way that you trade. Okay, so now here we are trading into that high liquidity down here at 70. Okay, so we thought that might happen here. We got one more push. It was still divergent, but we stayed away from it, or would have stayed away from it until around in here. And when we start to see the sellers get below those buyers in here, and then for this move to unfold. Okay, we also have some trapped volume up in here. This is another concept. Maybe we'll go over that in more detail another time. Maybe we'll cover it now. I know, Rob, this is something that you're really intrigued with and understanding at a higher level. Guys, over in Discord, again, it's just if you are interested, please come over to the Discord Pro Trader webinar series here that we're having all week. And it's yeah, in the chat here as well. I put the link in there for you in YouTube. Okay. So yeah, we're going to end it over here in YouTube and invite you over. You'll need to verify. We're going to continue on. If you want to continue on in the webinar here, come on over and you know, join the. You'll see us here in the all markets webinar here. Okay, and here, you know, just look for the little live button here. That's you know, what kind of can clue you into where the live webinars are happening. All right, so yeah, thank you everybody. Give us a thumbs up, you know, hit the like button please, and subscribe to the channel. Come over to Discord and attend our webinars this week. They're only over on Discord, so we're looking forward to you know, building a robust, really solid community over there, and keep the riffraff out. If someone's interested in Bookmap, this is a place to go with other like-minded order flow traders. Okay, so yeah, thanks for coming everybody, and we'll end the YouTubes and continue on over here in Discord.